Okay, here we are on day 10. It's the last study for this week. We have 4 this week, but a couple of them were pretty fast. Today is Love is Unconditional. And this is, one of those that I think as believers we cling to, that God's love is unconditional, because we are so perfectly imperfect and he loves us anyway, and which is, again, such love for the scripture today. Romans 5:8, God demonstrates his own love toward us, and that while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. And it is so powerful to, when we make it personal, that Christ died for me. I mean, even if there wasn't anybody else, he was still willing to go to the cross for me to be able to have a relationship with God. And that is a pretty powerful thing. And as the authors, really focused on the love of a marriage and the covenant and the commitment component of love, when it comes to marriage, is that you have to have that agape love, and that the other types of love, the friendship love and sexual love, I mean, those are more based on feelings and emotions, and can fluctuate from time to time. But agape love, God love, never changes, and it's always constant. And that's the type of love that is true love. And as the authors put in here, it's the in sickness and in health, the rich or poor, for better or for worse kind of love, and which is so true. But that, that agape love is his kind of love, and that we love because he first loved us. And so that his love is based on a covenant with his people. And the same thing goes for a marriage, that it's not based on feelings and circumstances, it's based on commitment. And so that if you are in a relationship, I think that this is such a beautiful commentary for relationships, and also our relationship with God. And that, the one thing that the authors talk about that is so critical is that we have to allow God to begin growing his love within us, the kind of love that will bear all things and believe all things and hope all things and endure all things. And it doesn't come from, that's nothing we can muster ourselves. That comes from God, and that he loves through us. But first we have to receive it before we can share it. And that's, again, a pretty powerful thing. So I would encourage you to really take time in reading the author's commentary for day 10, because it is very powerful. And it's not I love you because, it's just I love you, period. So for today's dare, it said to do something out of the ordinary today for your spouse, something that proves to you and them that your love is based on your choice and nothing else. And then it talks about some examples. And then to demonstrate love for them for the sheer joy of being their partner in marriage. For today's Think, Right, Pray, we will think about our desires, and are they more wants or needs? And what extraordinary act of service can you do for God? Are your thoughts leaning towards what you can do on your own, Or will you release control and allow God to work through you? When you write 3 things, 3 big faith things on your heart that you desire to do for God's kingdom, and then start an action plan. And when you pray, let's ask God to show us ways to go above and beyond for His kingdom and to trust in His plan and His timing to act when He leads. So I hope you've enjoyed this week. It will be a full week, and we'll see what kind of little faith art things we can come up with to help you along in your meditation time. And until then, I will see you next week. Thanks again. Blessings, y'all.